Hello, a very warm welcome to Dodger's Trips. I'm Dodger. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, I'm here at Wyke Recreation Ground, as you can see behind me. And I thought we'd take a little walk through the park and give you a catch up and tell you what I've been up to and why I've been away from YouTube for these past 6 months. Been quite a 6 months. We'll have a look at through the park because I've never actually walked through the park on one of my videos. So we'll take a look, see what's about, and maybe have a sit down and have a chat and tell you what I've been up to and exciting plans coming up. So stay tuned. Thank you for everybody who's joined up to my Facebook group. I've just started the Facebook group at the weekend, and I'll put the link in the description. I'll also try and put it on the screen so you can go look that up if you want, and then you'll get sort of like bonus footage and bits of news of what's upcoming and things like that if you're interested in history walks or travel. And if you like history walks and travel, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. It's free. My favourite 4-letter word, free. Just come through the gates and immediately at the entrance here is the kids' playground. It's been raining over the weekend, so everything's wet, so I know it's half term, but I suppose if the kids done it for the swing park. Right, we'll start our walk around the park. Here we've got Wyke Bowling Green. I was setting my camera up. This is a new, well, I'm using the phone, and there's a reason for that I'll get to. Looks like they're aerating the grass, is it? With a spike in the grass. Looks like they've got a kestrel, some bird of prey on the railings. Try and frighten the birds off, no doubt. I think this building here is the Veterans Hut. Maybe it serves as, headquarters of the Wyke Veterans Association. I think the local history club met here as well once a month, but I understand that they're holding the last meeting on the 4th of November. Last ever meeting. Here we got, you can see the Wyke Bowling Club. They've got a container. Yeah, that must be where they store all their equipment. And these fairly new changing rooms, home of Wyke Amateur Rugby League Club. Do they have a good side, Wyke? I'm not sure. I know they run several age teams. I wonder about the open age team. Is it a good standard rugby? If you follow Wyke Rugby League, I'd love to know about a bit more. If you could tell us in comments how they're doing. Are they a club on the up? And here we've got, well, outside gym, I suppose you'd call it. Most parks these days, they have the outdoor gym equipment, don't they? It's always a lot of expense, but you never really see it being used that much. We'll walk onto this section here, which is like the hard surfacing, five-a-side football pitch almost, kick around area. And then we've also got a skater ramp and basketball court. There's quite a few things to do in Wyke Park. I know I saw on local Facebook group that they've just had CCTV installed in the park, so they must have problems with antisocial behaviour, I guess, which I suppose that you could say that about almost any park, any urban park in the UK. Parks are usually places out there where scallies can hang around after dark and no one can see what they're up to. So, why have I been away from YouTube for so long? Well, a number of reasons, I suppose. It's, well, I can walk around the park as many times as I want and tell you all about it. I suppose the start of it was when we went to Goa in August 2024, last year. And we went in the rainy season. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to the tropics in the monsoon time, but as we came into land, it was on a Qatar Airways flight, came into land at Goa airport, and the plane was shaking, it was shuddering, it was dropping up and down. Oh, it was absolute nightmare. It was that bad, actually, as it was, you know, preparing for landing. We were sat right at the back of the plane, and the air hostesses were behind us, apart from one who was walking down the aisle towards her seat at the back, and she suddenly got thrown up, hit her head on the overhead baggage compartments, and Sandy had to reach out and grab her, otherwise she'd have cracked her head on the seat as well. And these other air hostesses from behind us, they shouted, sit down, sit down. Luckily the plane was only about quarter full, so there was loads of spare seats, and she just dropped into the nearest sort of passenger seat and buckled herself in. Oh, man, it was scary, I tell you. There were people saying the prayers, and although it's, I suppose, a regular practice, if a plane is coming down to land and it can't straighten up, or the crosswinds are too bad, it'll take off again and do a fly around. Well, that's what happened, you know, on the seats in front where you've got the screen and you can see the meters high as it's descending, and it got down to like 50, 20 meters, 10 meters off the ground. Then the next thing you knew, it was like 200 meters off the ground. And we thought, when you're just waiting for that sound of the rubber on the tarmac, and it didn't come, and we thought, what is going on here? Anyway, after about 2 or 3 minutes, the pilot come on the tannoy. He said, you might have noticed that we haven't landed. Yeah. He said, we're going to fly around. There might be another opportunity to land in about 20 minutes time. So that's what we did. So all that 20 minutes, you can imagine everybody's nerves were really fraught. As I said, there were people saying the prayers and everything as it made a descent a second time as well. Anyway, we got down, and I've never been a fan of flying, not a frequent flyer, although I do this travel program. Basically, I haven't flown that much, and that did for me. I thought, I've had enough of this exotic travels on aeroplanes. Yeah, so we got back anyway, got back to the UK, and I thought, well, that's it, I'm never getting on an aeroplane again. Well, I could still do the YouTube. I'll sit here on this bench. Got the sun right behind the camera. So I think we had a little break in Blackpool in February. Three nights there. And then I was wanting to go to Ukraine. Thought that would be interesting to go see how a country's coping in wartime. And Sandy wasn't that keen on that idea, which I could understand. Anyway, she said, you know, I'm not going to stop you going if you want to go. And that would have been no flying. I'd have gone by train, gone through Poland into Ukraine. Obviously, there's no flights into Ukraine. And I had the hotel and, you know, what flights I was going to be going on and all that. But it was quite clear she wasn't very happy at the thought of me going. And I knew where she was coming from, and I could see how upset it was making her, so I didn't go. So I think with that and the sort of terrible flight that we'd had in Goa, and I'd made quite a lot of lengthy videos that, well, come back, this is my new I'm back. This is my new gimbal that I'm having a first play with today, and using my phone, as I say, as a camera. My GoPro and everything else is in storage. So, where were I? Yeah, so the flight to go, not being able to go to Ukraine and sort of do like a series from there, and making all these like lengthy films that needed quite a lot of research, took a lot of time, and YouTube is all time consuming. It's the filming, the researching, writing up, editing, all that kind of thing. And it was just, I think it was just all those things together. I thought, well, I need to stop doing this. Need to sort of think about other things, and my focus went on to gardening. Oh, we did have a little break again. I think it was 4 or 5 nights in a place just called South Queensferry, and it's where the fourth rail bridge is, the fourth road bridge. And we went up there for 4 days, and I was going to be filming that originally, but that was the first trip away that I didn't have the camera, and I quite enjoyed it actually, not having a camera. It's just, let's walk on a little bit more. Get the sun behind me. Yeah, so so we went to Queensferry, and it's about 40 minutes by bus from Edinburgh. As I say, it's where the fourth road bridge is, because I do like a good bridge, and they're quite a tourist attraction. A lot of people go to South Queensferry just to see the 3 bridges, the fourth rail bridge, the fourth road bridge, and then the new one, which they've built in recent years, the new Queensferry crossing, which is like a motorway, because they've had to limit the amount of traffic that goes over the fourth road bridge. They found that some of the wires in the suspension were snapping and stuff. But I had a good time. I went over on the rail bridge, had an explore. The other side of the fourth is North Queensferry. Had a look around there. There's quite a lot of history, and then walked over the road bridge back over the fourth. Yeah, and we also did a little boat trip, which was on a boat called the Maid of the Forth, a bit like Maid of the Mist at Niagara Falls. I think that's where they've got that idea. Sorry, this keeps moving around. I've not got the hang of this, so you just have to excuse me and hope that we get better, or until I can get my GoPro back. This building behind me, I think, is one of the most interesting buildings in Wyke. Yeah, here we go. And I believe that this is World War II air raid shelter, which has been used as Wyke rugby changing rooms until they got the new building over the way there. Look at that metal door. Look how solid that is. Never been in there. I'd love to have gone in, but look, the thickness of the concrete roof. So if anyone knows any history about this place, that I'd be interested to know more about this. Was it the air raid shelter? I can't see what else it would have been. Although it's got windows, hasn't it? It's got, maybe they were put in later. Or maybe, is that an urban myth? A Wyke urban myth? There was the air raid shelter. Right, so carry on. I was at South Queensferry near Edinburgh, so we had that trip without a camera. And a lot of the time I enjoyed not having a camera in me, and there were moments, excuse me, especially on that boat trip, where I thought, oh, wish I'd had my camera with me, because they went down the Firth of Forth to this boat trip, and then it dropped you off at this island right in the middle, and it was like there was an old abbey there, and a load of World War II and gun emplacements, barracks and everything, which you're free to just wander through tunnels and all sorts. It was really, really good. So I decided I wasn't going to do YouTube anymore. So what was I going to do with my time? And I'd always loved gardening. I'd been at a previous house and enjoyed creating a garden. I thought what I'd like is to get a biggish garden and start getting into that, and that'll see me out in this life. My twilight years, create a garden and look after it for the next 20 years. So we've put a house on the market with an intention of looking for this house with a big garden that I could get my teeth into. And we sold the house. Within 24 hours of it going on the market, the very first people came and gave us what we were asking for it. That was great. So then we had to try and find a house, and we found this 3-bedroom detached bungalow with a big front garden, big back garden. Anyway, it dragged on and on and on, on and on and on. There were things wrong with it, and I was so set on getting this garden that I kind of overlooked, you know, the things that really would have turned a lot of people away from this property. But persevere. Anyway, it just was taking on that long. And at the same day as I thought, well, we're pulling out of this because we'd found something else wrong with it, and it was just one thing too many. Same day, our buyers, who had been so patient, gave us an ultimatum: be out by such a date, which was about 10 days' time, or we're pulling out. Our house, we were all boxed up, all our possessions. We'd give loads and loads of stuff away to charity shop in Wyke, and we were packed ready to go. So if it had gone back on market, it would never have got what we did get for it, because obviously it didn't look as nice. Just seeing my mate Chris. Let's see if I can just switch this camera around. Yes, Chris is a big supporter of the channel. Don't know how much you'll see from this distance, but he's always very encouraging. And it was actually Chris, when we get later in the tale, who got me back onto YouTube. So thank you, Chris. So there we were, homeless, with all this money from the house sale, but nowhere to go to. We had to put all our furniture in storage, still in storage now. And we went after another 3-bedroom detached bungalow, beautiful, with electric gates, double garage, big garden, perfect. But shortly after that, we discovered there was like a war going on between the owner and the next door, and we thought, can't do with that either. We'd be moving in, and you'd have to be taking him to court because he'd taken over some of the garden, and nightmare. So as beautiful as the property was, and it was perfect in every way, apart from that, we had to pull out of that. But that was only like a week into the thing. Anyway, we found another house. Oh, that's it. So after this point, I'm thinking, I don't even want another house, you know what I mean? But I know what a pain it is renting, because all my kids rent, and I know how difficult it is to get a place and to keep a place without a landlord selling it from under you. I don't want a house. I'd just love to get a backpack and just go until the money runs out. And it was kind of an idea, I just kind of a throwaway comment a couple of times that I said that. It's very difficult with this sun where to sort of have the camera angled. But anyway, Sandy kind of maybe came around to that idea. He says, well, why are we spending all our money on a really nice house, right, that we then won't be able to afford to go on holiday, or not as often, and just to leave it to the kids? Why don't we just get a cheaper house and travel? So that's what we're doing. We found a lovely house in Wyke, very reasonable price, and we're going to use that as a base. My son and his family are going to be moving in, so they're going to live in it, but we've got somewhere when we come back that we can stay. It will be our house though. So when we don't know if we're going to take to this travelling, we don't know whether we'll just do one trip, come back and think that's it. It's not ready for us. We've got an house. We might go for 6 months, come back for 2 weeks and think this is boring and head off again somewhere else. And that's the intention. We're just going to get a one-way ticket to somewhere in the world, and it's up to us where we go, how long we stay there, how long before we come back to the UK, how long we stay in the UK before we head out again. So that's the exciting news for Dodgers Trips. Going to be doing a bit of globe trotting. I won't reveal what we've got in mind as our first destination, we'll save that, but we've asked if the solicitors can get us into this house by Christmas, which would be really good to get settled in there, and maybe a month or two in the house to get everything ship shape, and then my son and his family can move in, and they're going to take care of the property while we're away. It'll be their home, but we're safe knowing that if everything goes wrong and we have to come back, we're not going to be homeless, we're not going to be in this situation again. So yeah, my GoPro, all the furniture, everything is all in storage, so I can't wait to get that back. And so that's it. So come sometime January, February, we'll be heading off on that plane with a one-way ticket to somewhere, a flight to nowhere. So that's the explanation, that's the story behind the 6 months that I've taken off YouTube. And I used to bump into Chris, who I've mentioned earlier there, who I just spotted. I used to see him regular as I went down Wyke, and he was often down Wyke, and we'd stop and have a little chat for 5 minutes. As I say, always encouraging, always giving suggestions for new videos and that kind of thing. And I saw him one time, and I hadn't seen him for a while actually. And he says, what's like going on with YouTube? You know, I haven't seen much from you. And I said, no, I've give it up. And I can't remember how the conversation went, but came from the back of that, having that chat with Chris, came home, and it must have been on my mind. And so within the next week or two, I thought, no, I want to give it another go. Let's, that's it. And then this is maybe where it all kind of came together. As the YouTube thing sort of stopped because of a number of reasons, there was then all these reasons to carry on doing YouTube. And good morning.
Morning.
To carry on doing YouTube and do a lot of travelling, go see the world. So yeah, I'll still be making videos in Wyke, and I've got a few ideas for videos in Wyke leading up to Christmas. This is just as the trial one. We'll see how we go, see if it gets put on YouTube and all. Hopefully it'll only be a week or two before I get my next one on as well, and that's going to be a Wyke video. So I hope you can join me. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for being patient with me while I've found my way back to YouTube. As I say, please join my Facebook group, and you keep up to date with my plans, and you get sort of behind the scenes photos and extra footage and that kind of thing. So yeah, thank you very much. So until the next trip, wherever that might take me, although it's going to be Wyke, somewhere in Wyke. And I'll just say, Dodger and out.